Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Tuba Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Bolt driver stabs 2 female passengers after a dispute about their drop-off location. Hello, my name is Reneilwe Morema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. So, e-hailing services, Bolt finds itself in hot water again following an incident where one of its drivers allegedly stabbed 2 female passengers. One of the victims sustained injuries requiring stitches on her lower back. Doctors say the knife grazed her kidneys. This incident has raised concerns about safety in the transportation department or in the transport industry. The victim spoke out about the traumatic experience to Newsroom Africa. Check out this interview and see what she had to say.
If you could just talk me through what actually happened that night of the 4th when you requested the Bolt service.
We requested a Bolt from Monte Vista to Dunoon, and we asked the driver to pause by a garage that's in Bottesberg. And when we got there, the driver was like, it's okay, he also uses Capitec, we should just transfer the money. And then we went to Dunoon. When we got to Dunoon, he was like, we won't go inside Dunoon because it's dangerous. He will drop us by the taxi rank. We were okay. When we tried to transfer the money, that's when Capitec did not work. Everyone tried to use their Capitec banks, but it did not work. So he said he knows a closer garage, which is Kilani. When we got there, the garage is being renovated, so we went to Tableview, which is called Nomlenzana. We withdrew 150. The Uber initially was 90 Rand. We withdrew 150 because we're paying him extra for the inconvenience. He asked us to get out at that specific garage, and we're like, we're not doing that unless he gives us the 50 Rand extra. And the driver refused. He took us to this police station, Tableview police station. When we got there, my friend and the driver went out of the car to speak to a police officer, and it is said that the police officer said that the driver should take us to our destination. We thought that was cool. The driver was okay by taking us to our destination. The driver did not do that. The driver used a wrong way, and when we realized that the driver is not going where we are going, that's when the fight started to retaliate. My friend started to take videos of him. That's when he tried to pull my friend's phone and throw it out the window. That's when we tried to grab him and the steering wheel, and he stopped the car. We all ran. That's when he ran after us and stabbed us.
You were saying that you went back to try and grab the friend that he was stabbing at the time.
Yes, I went back to grab her because I saw that she's left behind. So while we were far from him, he still managed to actually run back to us to stab me. Yes.
And you were obviously traveling in a group, and we know that they usually say you need to travel in big sizes or in big groups as females to avoid incidents like this. But it still happened. Any concerns that you have as so far as safety?
I'm concerned because the driver knows my address. So I'm concerned for other ladies who will be traveling with this man. Even if Bolt says that they blocked him, he might be using other e-hailing services. So it is quite a concerning and triggering. Yeah.
And you were talking to me about the fact that when we met outside the police station, that you can't stand for too long. Do you mind just detailing the nature of your injuries if you're saying that you were stabbed?
The driver stabbed me like an inch away from my kidney. The doctor said that he scratched me. It's not something much, but I can't stand for long. I can't bath myself. I can't take myself to the loo. I can't bow down. I can't do any of those things. Sometimes I can't eat. I shake when I eat.
Cindy, also you were stabbed during the incident. Do you mind detailing to us the nature of your injuries?
I was stabbed at the back here in my left side, and that's where I got my
10 stitches of the stabbing. But then I tried after the incident to walk, to do everything on my own because I think it was not that too deep.
And then we'll go back to Silu again. You were talking to us about the fact that you guys are opening a case or have opened a case.
Yes, we have opened the case.
And has BALT in any way reached out to you guys in terms of assistance? And what have they said?
BALT only reached to us after he saw that we are trending and people are actually cancelling BALT, because when we initially reported the scene, BALT said they were investigating, and BALT has been trying to call us. He's been giving people our numbers without our consent, cancelling. We've been getting calls from different people trying to cancel us, and BALT did initially want to take me, to give me a transport that is requested by BALT, which is I got injured by a BALT driver. They wanted to take me to a police station to open a case, and I literally told them that I am not safe with anything that involves BALT. Thank you.
With your story trending this past weekend and this week, it trended for about 2 days on social media. We saw outcry and people also relaying some of their stories. I remember me during COVID covering a story of a young girl that was also attacked in a BALT incident or a BALT incident. Did you know of any incidents prior this? Did you in any way think about cancelling or removing the app when these news came?
We once heard a story, but it was not in Cape Town.
I feel like everyone has a BALT story. Every female has a horrific BALT story, from being robbed, raped, and almost being murdered. The stories keep piling up every year. But what bothers me is that BALT is still active in South Africa despite all these incidences. Why hasn't the Minister of Transport, Sindisiwe Chikunda, said anything? Why isn't the government taking drastic measures against BALT? Why haven't we seen BALT management in court? The transport industry in South Africa is a horror show. If it isn't the public transport taxi drivers bullying BALT and Uber drivers and mistreating their passengers and BALT or Uber passengers, it is BALT drivers using the BALT services to commit all kinds of crimes. Can you imagine this war zone, the impact it has on ordinary citizens? Check out this video of this woman hysterically crying after a taxi driver mistakenly thought her father's car was an Uber driver. What happened next is unbelievable.
I'm not sure how many of the people is this thing going to reach, but I think it's high time we stop being bullied by Taxi. It's high time we stop being bullied by Taxi. Right now, I am shaking to the core of my stomach, okay? Because why are we forced by Taxi and where we can do that? It's high time this thing stops, because I have a decision to decide. They do not own these roads. They do not own us. They do not own us. So what just happened now is that so I was traveling from work. Kibeli takes and it starts raining on the way. So Sihliga, people know for Chris and in a PP garage because Invul is still drizzling. So I already called my dad to come and pick us up. My dad drives the Corolla. So I already called him. So I'm gonna garage and then call train because they asked me to come back and call train. Cool. And then I get out of the car. Okay, we wait. My dad, we are available. So there was this taxi parking lot in the garage. So he takes his seat here. So my dad can't see us. So he does a U-turn. So me and my friend, we walk out and we approach my dad, you know. So he opens the window for us and he's like, how? Because I'm bag. No, we get into the car. This guy comes with a car, especially local. He's trying to block my dad, so I can't see what he's doing. I thought of go pump petrol, you know. And then the other one comes, is like, hey Baba, hey, you know. And then the guy in the car comes out, and then he goes straight to the window and wants to take out the key. I start screaming, it's not an Uber, it's not an Uber, it's not an Uber. You know, I open the door, it's not an Uber. My dad's like, no, relax, it's fine, close the door. I told them it's not an Uber. So now another guy approaches when I was about to start taking a video. It's like, yeah, stop what you're doing. I did and stuff. You know, okay, cool. Now we're fighting. We're fighting at the fact that because about Mama Taxi, they have the right to tell us what it wasn't an Uber, yes, but what I'm saying is, what if it was? So now I'm forced to keep texting ngafuni. I'm forced. No. Email says this is keep and we are allowed to make individual decisions. They can't decide for us. This thing, it needs to come to a point where it stops. I feel violated. That guy ended up swearing at me. First thing is that I'm fighting back because why the heck are you talking to my dad like that? He's not your friend. That's my dad. And if tables were turned, I don't think you'd also be quiet. If that time my dad is not even well because there's this thing. Like, I just feel I am so angry. I am so angry to the core of anger. Because why? Why is it that we need to always be fighting for our lives? No, but Mama takes. It's our lives. Because they're always bullying us. If it's not that, it's the fact that we can't give Ella. I can take that decision. They have no right whatsoever. I don't know how many people this thing is going to reach, but I think it's high time we speak about bullying and so on. The only black-owned business that is such a bully. We make the decision. It's got nothing to do with them. It is high time this thing stops.
On multiple occasions where taxi drivers harass Bolt or Uber customers, beating them up, requesting that they pay a fine if they do pickups in their territory. With the absence of the government regulating these situations, more incidences and violent outbursts between e-hailing services and public taxis will continue nationally. What we are witnessing is the taxi industry becoming more brazen in how they express frustration with e-hailing. Whenever taxis go on a strike for whatever reasons, it gets dangerous for ordinary citizens that need to go to work or to school. Sometimes they block the roads so no one can go anywhere. There was one heartbreaking situation that happened in Cape Town, I think 2 years ago, where taxi drivers shot a woman transporting kids to school.
uhambe wawunegotiate ekhaya elitsha akeza ukuthi izungikhatha ndizavala indlela pha ungahambi imoto.
The taxi industry bosses lack decorum. They are a lawlessness organization that controls even the government, because why is the government not saying anything in the midst of all this violence? Now, what are you supposed to do when there is no transportation to take you to work? You take an Uber or Bolt, but what happens when that Bolt driver suddenly becomes an animal and attacks you? Can you see where I'm going with this? We are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Who do we trust? Where do we go when one service is not safe? They kidnap, they rape, and even murder us, while the other throws tantrums whenever things don't go their way, putting people's life in danger, even murdering them without consequences. Why hasn't the Minister of Transportation said anything or done anything to clean up this mess? This is a concerned citizen. Right now, I'm coming as a concerned citizen of South Africa. The taxi industry, the transportation industry is not safe for individuals or citizens in South Africa. I am concerned. This is not the first time Bolt is doing this. This is not the first time the taxi industry strikes, but the government is keeping mum on the situation. People are dying at the hands of transportation. People that are supposed to take us to our workplace so we can make money to feed our families are killing us on the road. Government needs to step up. This is a message to the Minister of Transportation, Ms. Cindy Siwe. I think you need to do something. Say something. And I think the African Diaspora News Channel platform is the perfect place for you to voice out this concern, to give us an interview on how you plan to clean up this mess. We are going into the elections, and need I say, things are not looking good for the ANC cabinet. What do you think about this whole mess and this whole saga with Bolt? Do you think we should sign a petition to kick Bolt out of South Africa? Should they stop operating in South Africa? Should we take drastic measures? Should we take the law into our own hands so we can send a message to the government to do something? Don't forget to comment to us in the comment section below about this segment. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News Channel. My name is Reneilwe Morema. It has been an absolute pleasure.